Got Peter Fury on the line with me. How's things, Peter?
Yeah, things are very good. So it's just over here training at the moment and looking forward to Christmas.
Yeah, well, brilliant. Well, lots going on. Hughie's been made mandatory by the WBO to fight Joseph Parker. Good place to start. Basically, when can we expect this taking place by? Have the WBO set a time limit on when this fight has to take place?
Yes, the WBO has stated it's got to be within 120 days. So he has to defend against Hughie because Hughie's next in line because David A, as you know, is number one. He's fighting Tony Bellew. Yeah. So Hughie's next in line. So Hughie is now mandatory by the WBO. I've seen a lot of things on the social media saying David A is number one, this and that. No, he's not. He's opted to fight, so he's lost that mandatory position. But they can't physically take it off David A until he's had the fight, if you understand. But Hughie is next in line, so Hughie is now mandatory for Joseph Parker's WBO.
Okay.
So that's where we are.
Okay, well, that's great news. That's very exciting for you and Hughie. I did read an article in Boxing Scene with Frank Warren. He seems pretty confident you can get the fight in the UK. Is that what you and Team Parker are leaning towards, or do they want it in New Zealand?
I'm not really part of the negotiation side. Leave that to our promotions, and we're after trying to get the fight here in the UK, obviously for scoring reasons and favourable decisions. So we'd rather the fight here because I'm not keen on taking Hughie over to New Zealand. I'd be more a bit concerned over the judging over there. So that's not to be criticising or anything, but that's just the way I see it. So I want things to be absolutely fair and let both men fight with no advantage to either man.
Okay. So if, say, it went to purse bids, would it, and you lost, and the fight was to take place in New Zealand, is that something would you still consider taking that fight?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't think we'd have any option. But we're quietly confident. I know that we've got some good backers here, so we're confident the fight can be made in the UK. I don't think Team Parker's got a problem with coming to the UK. I'm sure if the money's right, they will come.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. And also, like Hughie's been mentioned a lot with heavyweight world champions. Deontay Wilder, there was a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk about Hughie fighting him. What happened there, Peter?
Yeah, that's also a fight that was on the cards, but obviously with this WBO route and Hughie being made mandatory by the WBO, and I had a conversation with Nick and Frank, and we all agreed that the WBO has been very honourable to us. And, we like the WBO. We've got a lot of respect for the WBO. So I said, I'd rather let Hughie fight for the WBO. I said, because, our loyalty is with the WBO. So, it was a non-brainer decision for us, really, to go the WBO route.
Yeah. So if you were to fight Deontay Wilder, that would have been a voluntary defence by Wilder.
It would have been, because Wilder has been out and he's coming back, and he would have still been for his WBC belt though, but it would have been a voluntary defence.
Yeah, okay, all right, very interesting. So it's like until the Joseph Parker fight, that's sort of all you've got your eyes on at the moment now for Hughie. That's sort of it until that's your opportunity now. You must be delighted in a lot of ways because it's after quite a long time, it's his first shot at a world title.
I think it's a lot of people have seen this lad come through. He's been in the background. He doesn't talk a lot. He is the quiet man of boxing. But he's a serious talent. and I'm just looking forward to him getting in there. But by no means, it doesn't matter who he fights. He's mandatory now, so whether he fights Parker or whoever, I assume it will be Parker. But I'm just happy that he's going to get his chance, because I believe he's going to explode on the world scene in a big way. Yeah. So that's my personal opinion. And people they can do what they like, and some may scoff at it, but believe me, I don't say things and talk lightly. I mean what I say. So this is a fight that we're very much looking forward to. I think it's. I've heard people comment about Parker's fight with Andy Ruiz Jr.
Yep.
and trying to pick holes in it, but I can tell you that Parker is probably one of the best young world heavyweights out there at the moment. I think he's probably the best heavyweight at the moment anyway. That's my opinion, because Andy Ruiz Jr. was also a serious talent. He's no mug. People look at body shape. Andy Ruiz Jr. could fight. He's got fast hands. He could do the distance, as he showed in that fight. Could take punches. He just couldn't adjust a little bit more and step up. But that was a good fight, and it was a good fight for Parker as well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. So I think Hughie's in for a very, very serious test, and I think if Hughie can come through Parker, Hughie will put his stamp on the mark as one of, if not the best heavyweight in the world. So he's getting there. And what I'm very pleased about as well, Hughie's not fighting any hand-picked bums here. Hughie's fighting an elite heavyweight, because I believe Parker is one of the best heavyweights in the world. So I'm happy for Hughie to fight one of the best heavyweights in the world, and that's my opinion. Not because we've got him next. That is my opinion of Parker. I've always said good things about him. Yeah. So him and his team's done a fabulous job. The guy can fight. So it's going to be a very tough fight for Hughie.
Okay. Well, in terms of Hughie, how is Hughie? You say you're in France at the moment. There were some issues with health, but from what I understand, you've completely cleared that all that up now, and he's very healthy.
Yeah, he's only had skin problems. When I say health, he's perfectly healthy. He's had 20 fights. It was just it was affecting his immune system because of the skin condition he had. But now that's all cleared up. He had a 5.5 months course of it, so that got cleared up, and he's perfect. He's not ailing anything, so he's all good to go. So it's come at the right time. He's 22 years of age, still very young, but he's as ready as he's ever going to be. There's not going to be any excuses on fight night anyway.
Okay. And where would you like the fight to take place in the UK? In Manchester or London? How it's quite a big fight. It could probably sell out, the biggest of arenas.
I'm not sure. I'm happy for the fight to be staged anywhere. Manchester or London. I think it's only one of them two venues, isn't it? So we're just looking forward to. I'm not really fussed where the fight is. I'm sure. Plenty of people will come to watch it anyway.
Okay. Well, moving on to what else is going on in the heavyweight division. Joshua's fighting Klitschko at Wembley at the end of April. What do you make of that fight, Peter?
I'm looking at a guy who's 18-0. He's got potential and he's got talent, but I just think it's too soon for him. I think unless Klitschko's fell apart overnight, which I don't believe he has, I think it's a tall order for Joshua. I think Joshua's got to catch him. Look, if Joshua catches him, he'll put him to sleep. If Joshua catches anybody, he's putting him to sleep. But so could Frank Bruno. So could a lot of other heavyweights. It's not just about that. So I think it's a very tall order for Joshua, to be fair. And I've got Klitschko being a heavy favourite myself, so that's just the way I see it. I think he won't. He's stepping into deep water where he's never been before. And can he adjust to it? He's not really been in any deep water at all. So it's a whole new different level, this. But like I said, excuse me,
right.
He's young, he's powerful, he's strong, he's got fast hands. So let's see. I'm not I can't say to you, I'm definitely right. But this is my opinion on how I gauge the fight. I think Klitschko is sitting very happy at the moment knowing he's got this fight because he just sees he's getting his belts back. And I think he'll be very confident going into this fight.
And well, moving on from that, I have to ask, how is the heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury? A lot of positive things, like him being ringside for Hosea Burton and Billy Joe Saunders, and very positive on social media. I've seen interviews with yourself on other platforms. All sounds quite positive. Still hoping for him to be back next year?
He will be back next year. I've never said he retired. You're listening. That's what Tyson has to say. But I've never said Tyson's retired. He's not retiring.
No.
Tyson's had some issues with his a lot. It's probably built up over a few years. He's had some silence issues, which has come to full flight. And I think depression. Tyson could be a good ambassador for depression because look, it's gripped hold of the heavyweight champion of the world, and he's, with everything to live for and everything to fight for. I think he was grossing £7 or £8 million for this fight. He's walked away from it. Money doesn't matter. His health matters. His state of mind. But because he's relinquished the belts, not stripped of the belts, what I'm hearing from everywhere, he relinquished the belts. And now he's took a back seat from it all, relieved himself of all various pressures. He's firing on all cylinders. And as we speak now, he's with his brothers, he's with his father, and he's training every day. So he's running, he's training, he's asking when I'm back in the gym. So he's going to be back, and expect Tyson in the ring around April, May next year. He'll be back, and he'll be back stronger, positive-minded.
Yeah. Wow, this
is
amazing.
And so he's not lost anything really. He's going to come back, and I said it, and I've always said it again. Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world.
I can't agree more.
And people haven't seen the last of him. He's coming back. He's coming back to not only get the belts, but to prove that he is the only heavyweight in the world. Because a lot of these other heavyweights, you're going to see him come and go. But guess what? He's going to be coming back. He's had some issues, health issues, but he's back, and he's coming back with a vengeance. And I expect late on next year, I think, or early part of the year after, he'll be back fighting for the belts again. Yeah. So he'll have a couple of fights, 2 or 3 fights, and he'll be back fighting for the belts.
Well, that's music to mine and many others' ears. You talk about him. He's training there. And ask him when you're back in the gym. So what is he just sort of ticking over at the moment, going running, or is he looking to get into the gym quite soon with you on a sort of full-time basis?
Well, yeah, he's in Manchester. He's doing a bit with his amateur coach. He's taking him on the pad. He's working out. At the moment, he's working on weight loss.
Okay,
he's getting himself in some kind of condition because he knows when I get back, he's got hell to deal with. So he's getting himself in steady preparation, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay, and I know it's a little bit too far down the line, but you say you want him coming back fighting for the titles. Who would you like to see Tyson come back against of the current world champions out there at the moment?
Well, it's hard to say because the world scene can change.
Yeah.
We've got Hughie coming up for the WBO now, which will be contested March or April early next year. So obviously, if Hughie's successful there, you'll get that belt. So Tyson won't be going after that belt because obviously it's his family. So then we're looking at, and it just depends with Joshua and Klitschko. But he could get Wilder, he could get Klitschko again. He could get Joshua if he beats Klitschko. I don't know, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm happy for Tyson to fight any of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure if Tyson announced himself back, one of the heavyweight champions would want to fight him because he's still one of the biggest draws. Well,
I think personally, for me, I'd like to see Tyson. I'd like to see Tyson fight Wilder. I think that's a massive fight across the pond,
Yeah.
and I think with the two of them, the way they speak and the way they go at it, and the two colossal-sized giants, aren't they? I think they're well matched. I think they'll turn into a super fight. So I'd like to see Tyson face Wilder. So that's a fight we want anyway. So hopefully Wilder stays undefeated, and towards the end of next year, we'd like to try and make that fight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, wow. Well, that's great. It's great to hear, Peter. It really is. It's really music to my ears. Talking about what else you got going on, Con Sheehan. How's things with the Irish heavyweight you're working with?
Con Sheehan's doing very well. He's had 4 fights now. He's a great talent. He's still got a lot to learn. He's still new in the pro game. He's loaded up with his shots. He's trying to impress. All the normal things what a young athlete will do to when he's first starting out. What Con Sheehan's got to do, he's got to do less rather than more, and he's got to be a bit more cute in there. And he stays in the pocket too much, and he gets hit too much. For a kid of his talent, he should be getting hit far less. So he's although he's had a lot of amateur experience, that can go also to the negative, because it's very hard to get out of that amateur way. But I'm very, very happy with him. He's coming along fine. He's adopting the pro style very well. We've got a good 8 rounds out of him the other day. So he's a work in progress. There's no rush. We're going to keep him busy with MGM. MGM look after him. They promote him. Yeah. So we've got a good relationship with them. They're involved with us with Hughie as well. So basically, we've got Warren Promotions, we've got MC Sports, we've got MGM. We're quite a good solid unit going forward. So he's not short of being able to get fights, Con Sheehan. So we've no rush with him. We've got enough to do. I've got Tyson coming back into world contention next year. I've got my son fighting for world titles. So with Con, probably we'll take him the Irish title route, and then after that we'll have a look and we'll try and get him in decent fights next year. Well, he will be.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. We'll sort of next year get that Irish title and sort of look around at kind of European level for Con and kind of build that. He's only had 4 fights, 5 fights or something.
He's had 4 fights. I think what I'm looking for Con is getting him plenty of experience in 2017 and really stepping him up in 2018. So that's what I'm looking at for him. I think with Con Sheehan he's going to learn a hell of a lot in the gym because he's got that experience, and with him fighting regular, he'll get there. He's another world level athlete. He's pretty good. I'm impressed with him.
Yeah. Okay. And very exciting. What do you make of the BT Sport and Box Nation have signed a deal to work together? That must excite you. With obviously you've got Hughie and Tyson aligned with Box Nation. What do you make of that?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's all good. I think competition is very good because if you get one platform, it becomes like they're trying to monopolise things. So I think competition is healthy. It's good for boxing. I'm delighted for Frank. I'm delighted for Box Nation. I think it's a fabulous partnership they got. You can't get any bigger than BT. So it's very good. The Sky as well. So it's good for the people of boxing to be able to see it, and where certain people they can't put prices up as they want to do because everything's governed. So it's good in that respect. But I think it's very good because we're going to see a lot more fights, and I think now the belts are all freed up in the heavyweight division. We'll see a lot more fights, and we will. So it's exciting times, and what I like to see as a boxing fan as well as being involved in it, I like to see who is the best heavyweights out there, and this is what we're going to see. I'm not interested in having a promotional dream and make as much money as you can and swerve that opponent because it could be too much. That's not my rule of thinking at all. Get in there and have a fight, and I believe in my fighters. So I'm just looking forward to. Time tells them with everything. So I want to see who the real best heavyweights are. Even Tyson, he's had one fight with Klitschko. So he's not, although he's beat Klitschko and he's done fabulous, I think he is the best heavyweight in the world. Still, he's got it to prove, because you can't really say you're a legend in the sport until you've been in it for many, many times and defended over and over again. Just like Lennox Lewis did. Vladimir Klitschko's done it. The likes of your Larry Holmes, your Ali's. This is what I look at. I'm not interested in a one-hit wonder. I'm interested in serious talent doing the maximum of their potential, what I believe they've got, and going down as Hall of Fame fighters. That's my dream as a father, an uncle, a trainer. That's what I want to see these lads achieve. So I believe they can, and that's my mission. My job's only just started. I'm just at the beginning. So we've got a long way to go yet.
And finally, you're working with a former MMA fighter as well, aren't you?
I am. He's called Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall, that's it.
He's 22, stroke just turned 23, he could be. Fine young athlete. He's also signed up with MGM.
Okay.
So he's I think he's out. I think he's on Johnny Roy's show. JR Promotions has got him on. He's part of MGM anyway, of Manchester. So he's on his show in February, I think, March, which is better for me because he's getting a lot of experience. Even now, while I'm away, he's with Johnny, training in the gym, he's sparring.
Yeah.
So he's picking up his trade. He's a very he's an exceptional young man in the sense of he comes from a very nice family. His father, he comes from fighting people anyway.
Okay.
So I get on very well with his father, and he's a lovely young man, Tom is. So, and he can fight as well. So he's got good movement for an heavyweight. He's got good fluidity in his body. So he's one for improvement. But in the heavyweight scene, he's boxed in MMA. He's got to adapt. Who knows where he can go and how fast he can go? He could do great things in a couple of years. It could take him 4 or 5 years. We have to see. But there's one thing for sure: he's going to be beating a lot of guys coming up. I don't think he's going to have any problems in the short term.
Yeah, and he's a British guy. He's from Manchester, you say? He's
from I think it's from Wigan Way in Manchester.
Okay.
And, he carries a lot of support, and I can see why. Because he's like I said, he's a lovely young man. He's got and his dad's been fighting all of his life. And his dad's still fighting now, and his knees are. He's got problems with his legs, and he can't stop fighting. He's a martial arts instructor.
Oh, okay.
But very nice people, and the son is like 6'5", 6'6". He weighs around 18 stone, so he's a genuine heavyweight, and he's built well as well. He's a strong guy, tough as teak, and he's one to watch. And we're going to see all these guys in action. So we've got Con Sheehan, we've got Andy Aspinall, we've got there's Hughie, there's Tyson. So there's some good pros in the gym, and all good lads to learn off each other. There's plenty of sparring, so they can feed off each other and pick up things.
Brilliant. Well, it's all very good, all very positive things coming out of Team Fury at the moment, which is great to hear. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Peter.
No problem, Adam.
Great to find out what's going on.